You don't have to do anything. Just the only thing to remember is don't touch the button. He mutes it, unmutes it. All right, so you good? I will shut the doors and then.
Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's so great to see such a lovely crowd here today. My name is Patrice Merritt. Okay, can you get me louder? No, I'm not supposed to touch it, they told me. Don't touch it. Okay, so I'm not touching the button. Is this better? Okay, thank you. Again, my name is Patrice Merritt. I'm a member of the Rancho Mirage Library and Observatory Foundation Board, and it is my privilege to welcome you all here today. The other thing that I'm told what to do is please click off your cell phones. And before I forget, that's rule number 1. On behalf of the Foundation Board, again, I say welcome. And I just want you to know that the role of the Foundation Board is to support programs such as this. So every program that you attend here, be it a concert, a cooking demonstration, a children's summer reading program, is funded by private dollars and donations from individuals, foundations, and other people who just care about our important mission here at the library. I consider this enrichment. The library is supported generously by the City of Rancho Mirage in terms of infrastructure, lights, salaries, but stuff like this needs your support. So on behalf of the Foundation Board, I just ask you to consider us when you're making some contribution considerations. Lots of upcoming events. Have your program guide, I hope. If you don't have one, they are in the back of the room. This will take you through November, and there also happens to be a donation envelope next to the program guide. But on the 26th, Wednesday the 26th at 8 p.m., Stephanie Trick and Paolo Alderigi will perform 4 hands piano. That's right, 4 hands on the piano here that evening. So mark your calendars and come on out and join us for the fun at the Rancho Mirage Library. Post-COVID, we're thrilled. You know, I'm sure you all missed us, but trust me, we miss you as well. And now for Chef Shannon. It is my pleasure to introduce today's speaker. Chef Shannon Bush has been a plant-based chef for over 30 years, and I don't like to say that because she doesn't look a day over 30. She has worked as an executive chef, head baker, caterer, culinary inspector, and she loves to demonstrate the many benefits of plant-based foods. We've been working with Shannon for several years, and we're thrilled that she wants to come back. And I believe there's some discussion about her coming back again this spring in March. So we hope we'll be able to bring that to you all. And now, please help me in welcoming Chef Shannon, who today will bring us an Asian flair from China, South Korea, and the Philippines. Bon appetit.
Thank you, Patrice. Hi, everybody. So glad to be here and so glad to see familiar faces and also some new faces. Actually, can the lights, just a smidge? I can't see anybody, so I just lied. But I know there are new faces out there. Thank you. Welcome. Is it your first time to one of my classes? Let me know. Okay, great. And then, yeah, lots of familiar faces. So thank you for coming back. Thank you for the new people and talk. If you have a question, speak up. It's fine. I'm happy to have that, because chances are if you have a question, someone else may have the same question. So just speak up. Hi, guys. Welcome. Oh, new faces. Yay. So please, let me know when you have a question.
Can you ask them to turn your mic up a little bit? There's people who can't hear you.
Oh, okay. A little bit louder on the mic. How's that? Any better? Any better? Hello? That seems louder, I think. Yeah? Okay. All right, let's get started. So today's class is all about Asian food, one of my favorites. And it's really, really easy to take popular Asian dishes and just swap a few things out and make them plant-based. We're going to start with a salad that I just call an Asian peanut salad. It'll be composed of some fresh vegetables, some salad greens, and some soba noodles. But to get started, what I want to do is make a quick peanut dressing. And this is one of my favorite all-time dressings. Has always been a bestseller. Really easy to throw together. So I'm going to start by taking some vegan sugar. So thank you. So vegan sugar is sugar that was not put through a gelatin filter to make it perfectly white. When you buy sugar, if it's sort of an irregular color, brownish, has a brownish tint to it, chances are it's vegan, or it hasn't been through a gelatin filter. So we probably all know that what gelatin is made of, ground animal hooves, yeah. So nice to avoid that, I think. So what I'm going to do is add some seasoned rice vinegar to my sugar. Sometimes, yes, usually. And usually if you buy organic sugar, it is also not processed that way. But there's a popular brand that you can find almost anywhere here in the valley called Zulka, Z-U-L-K-A, I believe. It's in a plastic bag with green trim, and it says bone char free on the top. It's not organic, but it's vegan. Absolutely. You can use agave as a substitution. You can use, sometimes I use date sugar. That's a really nice addition in sauces and salad dressings. Date sugar is just dried, crystallized dates. So that's a really nice option.
Does date sugar dissolve when you cook with it?
Not as well. It doesn't really dissolve, but it just kind of hydrates, and then as it hydrates, it kind of sweetens your whatever you've put it in.
What about stevia? Can you use stevia?
Probably can. I don't use it, so can't say they ever have, but I don't know why not. Yeah, so I'm just giving this a quick stir until the sugar dissolves. And then let's add the rest of our ingredients. We're going to add some fresh crushed ginger. And it's easy to find whole ginger in the stores, but it's really hard to crush. Yeah. This makes life a lot easier. Ginger in a tube, and sometimes it comes in little glass jars as well. But you don't get the full flavor if you just use a fresh piece of ginger and mince it up. It just doesn't infuse the dish with the full flavor of the ginger. That's why I really like this. Yeah?
Where do you buy the tube at?
The tube, I think this is from Albertsons. Yeah, but it's pretty easy to find. It's usually sold in the produce section.
Trader Joe's has it frozen.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, like the little ice cubes, the ginger ice cubes. Yeah, so that's an option as well. So now, one of my favorite things on the planet, coconut aminos. Great substitution for soy sauce. We talked about this a little before the class, but for the rest of you, it's the nectar from a coconut blossom. It has amino acids. It has a lot less sodium than soy sauce. So it's a great thing. Next time you run out of soy sauce, replace it with this.
Does it have umami like soy sauce?
It does. It has a different flavor, but also it does contribute to the flavor of your dish. Pretty easy to find. And actually my favorite one and the least expensive one around is sold at Trader Joe's. I was there yesterday to actually buy a few bottles as door prizes. And what do you know? They're sold out and won't get any in for a month. So I did. Some lucky person's going home with a brand I've never tried before. I found this one at Whole Foods yesterday. It's an organic coconut amino. So some lucky person. I don't know an exact number off the top of my head, but it has a great deal less sodium than soy sauce. Yes. Well, you can come and check it out after class. I'll leave all this stuff out here, and you're all welcome to look at the products.
You prefer that to tamari?
I do. Less salty and more flavor. So, what did I miss here? So I'm going to put a little splash of spice. This is optional when you make this, but I like spice. I'm going to use some chili sesame oil, also from Trader Joe's, but you could also do some cayenne pepper, a couple shakes of cayenne pepper. You could put a squirt of sriracha, anything you might have on hand if you want to spice it up a little bit. But I really like this sesame chili oil from Trader Joe's. All right, and now some toasted sesame oil. So I'm kind of got a Trader Joe's theme going here with this particular sauce, but this is from Trader Joe's. It's pretty easy to find sesame oil, but not quite as easy to find the toasted sesame oil with this dark, rich, golden brown color. It really has great flavor.
Yeah, I have most of those at home, but I look at them and they're 2 or 3 or 4 months out of date. How do you feel about that?
Use them. You know, it tastes a little bit. Just taste it, and if it tastes okay, use it. Oil can go rancid over time, but it's really easy to spot. Just touch the tip of your finger to it and taste it, and if it tastes normal, use it. It's not like it's going to turn poisonous or anything. It's just the flavor can go. But rancid oil is very unpleasant, so if it's, just taste it. If it tastes fine, use it. Depends what it is. The coconut aminos, I do. I don't know if it calls for refrigeration or not, but I never used to refrigerate them until I lived in the desert, and I find in the summer it'll mold because inside of my cabinets is a little warmer, but just keep it in the refrigerator once you open it. Smelling really good up here. Wish you could smell it. So I think I've put everything in yet so far, except the peanut butter. So let's talk about peanut butter. Peanut butter should have 2 ingredients. Peanuts and salt. And I know it's a pain to buy peanuts with this big glop of oil on top, but that's just a natural part of the peanut. And in most of the peanut butter out there, what they do is they remove that in the processing of the peanuts, and they sell it as cooking oil. And then so that your peanut butter doesn't get dry and hard, they replace it with unhealthy oils. So if you have peanut butter that doesn't naturally separate like this, maybe replace it with a healthier version next time you run out of peanut butter. And in this particular sauce, I think it's really nice to use crunchy peanut butter. So I'm just going to give it a little stir. And then at home, if you're new to real peanut butter, one of the things you can do is stir it up when you first get it and then put it in the refrigerator, and that'll slow the process of it separating again. Or the other thing you can do is just store it upside down in your pantry. All right. So the amount of peanut butter you want to use is dependent on how thick you want your sauce to be. Or your dressing, I guess. So I'm just going to kind of, go ahead.
Once you've made the sauce, how long can you keep it refrigerated?
A couple weeks. Yeah. So I want it a little thicker than what it's looking, so I'm going to add another scoop. It's getting there. What do you guys think? Still a little thin? You're right, it is. A little more. All right, that's going to do it though. And the peanut butter doesn't really kind of dissolve and meld into the mixture right away, but as it sits for a minute or two, it will. And it will be delicious. All right. Actually, since the library staff is going to eat this afterwards, I'm going to confirm just to make sure. I'm not done with it yet. I'm going to add a smidge of water. My vinegar was a little too strong. So those of you that know me know that I hate to measure stuff. I just pour it in, and then I just keep tasting it until I'm happy with it. So I always have a stack of clean spoons next to anything I cook. That's my method. Probably save a lot of time if I measured things, but just not me.
Can you use this dressing on other items?
Absolutely. This is my go-to dressing for spring rolls, fresh spring rolls. It's a great peanut sauce. I make satay skewers with tofu or seitan, and it's just like chicken satay. Traditionally served with the peanut dressing. It's great on a salad. Yeah, anything. Sky's the limit. All right, I think that's going to be a little better, but let's just make sure. I don't want the library staff mad at me. Okay, it'll pass. All right. So now we're going to put our salad together. It's super easy. I'll leave that there. So how many of you like soba noodles? Yeah, they're delicious. They're made with buckwheat flour, which is high in protein, very high in fiber. So they're a great option just to mix things up on pasta night. But they go beautifully in this peanut salad. So I'm going to start by just putting some mixed baby greens in a dish. Was there a question? No? Don't be shy. Okay. Some greens. And then I pre-cooked my soba noodles so that you wouldn't have to be bored while I cooked noodles in front of you. And what I'm going to do is just add a little bit of our peanut dressing to them just enough to make them kind of stick together. And then I have tongs right here. Just going to mix that peanut sauce in. And you know what? I have more noodles here than I thought I brought, so I'm going to switch to a bigger platter. A few more greens since we're going to do that. Okay, let's make it look kind of pretty. Looks like I need a smidge more of the dressing in here. All right. And we're just going to put a big swirly blob of our soba noodles that are moistened with the peanut dressing right here. And then let's just make it look pretty and add a bunch of vegetables. Let's see, let's start with some red cabbage, which I've always wondered, it's very, very purple, not red. Why? You could. But one of the things I want to demonstrate with this dish is that to get all of the nutrients your body needs, you need a very colorful meal. The different colors that are in vegetables represent different vitamins and nutrients. So if you eat different colors with every meal, you're giving your body the things that it needs. So it's hard to find purple. There's only a few things out there that are purple. So that's why this is great in here. I'm just going to take a little bit of it though. And I'm just going to cut it very, very finely. I think I heard somebody say use the mandolin. I could, but I'm already committed with the knife here. All right. So let's just do a mound of the cabbage here. And then I have some tofu that I pre-cooked. I pressed it and sliced it into little squares. And I cooked it with avocado oil and then finished it off with some coconut aminos. There's that product again. It's my favorite way to cook tofu. It just infuses it with tons of flavor. Pan fried. Mm-hmm. This is the... Oh, no, that's a different recipe. We're not there yet. But tofu is a blank canvas. And if you don't do anything to it, and the restaurants out there that don't do anything to it, they're what give tofu a bad name. It has to be infused with flavor. And the coconut aminos, cooking that in the pan like that, it just soaks into it and it's full of flavor. It's a great way to cook them. So what else do we have here? We've got a beautiful red pepper. And I will use my mandolin this time. Thank you. of you were here last month for the Mediterranean class, there was a gentleman in the front row who got some tabbouleh between his toes. So I'm trying to be very careful today. No one's going to leave here with food into their sandal. So let's see. The red looks better over here, doesn't it? Not next to the purple. But anyway, something like that. And then we have an English cucumber. And I'm going to use the mandolin on that as well. So it may be a little bit thinner cut.
Do you use the English cucumber because it has no seeds?
Smaller seeds, less seeds, fewer seeds, and less water. The regular cucumbers are very watery. And when you're making a dish and you let it sit for any length of time, they'll dilute the flavor or make it soggy or whatever. But the English cucumbers, they hold up better because they don't have as much water to release. So let's just maybe do something like that. And then I brought one more veggie to throw in there. I've got some carrots. And if I can get them out of here we go. All right, I'm just going to make what I call carrot curls. It's a really easy way to make any dish look a little more elegant. Just take a long carrot, use your peeler, and you end up with these beautiful strands of carrot that make a nice little pile. Need a few more. At least a couple of weeks. Mm-hmm. Okay, we're just about there with this one. I have a few more carrots to fill in there. Looks good. And now let's drizzle some of the peanut dressing over it. And then when you serve it, you want to kind of mix it all together. But I just like the presentation of having it separated like this on a platter if it's more than just you eating it. Kind of a nice presentation if you have guests. And then I'm also going to just put a few green onions, sliced green onions on top. There we go. Oh, one more thing, I lied. Sorry. Peanuts. Oh yeah, it's called a peanut salad, right? Just chop them up a little bit.
Are you adding the cilantro as well?
Did I forget that too? You're making me look bad. I did not bring any cilantro, even though I bought some for the class. Yes, add some cilantro to yours at home. Sure.
Sesame seeds would be great. You could put some kind of oil on the peanuts and just dust them.
Sure.
The black sesame seeds.
Sure.
I think that would be very colorful.
Yeah, absolutely. I have some black sesame seeds with me that I'm going to put on the next dish. But yeah, that's a great idea. So here we go. This is our easy Asian peanut salad. I'm sorry, I don't. No. I'm sorry, it's not. Our next item is going to be a hot dish. So give me a moment to change gears here. Okay. Okay, so now we're going to make 5-spice tofu. And 5-spice is one of my favorite things, kind of favorite undiscovered things. It's a fabulous spice blend. I just don't hear much about it. I don't see it on restaurant menus. I don't hear people talking about it. I love it. I just thought I'd introduce you to it today if you're not familiar with it. And if you are familiar with it, well, hope you enjoy the dish. It's a blend. The 5 ingredients are cinnamon, fennel, cloves, star anise, and white pepper. It's very aromatic. It smells beautiful. So let's... no, this is from Whole Foods. Yeah. But yeah, it's fairly easy to find. Although I did look for it at Trader Joe's and they didn't have it. But I'm going to put some garlic cloves. I'm going to make the sauce and set it aside here. So a couple of garlic cloves. And I'm going to sweeten this. It needs just a little bit of sweetness to offset the spice. I'm going to use maple syrup. You can use vegan sugar. You can use agave. Get creative. I didn't have much left. Maple syrup is priced like gold nowadays. It's the real stuff anyway. I didn't quite have as much as I had hoped for, so I'm going to just put a pinch of the vegan sugar in there. And I want a little bit of spice. I think I said that it's optional on your recipe. But I think stuff needs to be balanced. There needs to be sweet and spice, sweet and sour. Just kind of has to have that opposite to balance it.
So what is that?
So this one is one of your many options. This is called Sambal. It's a chili paste. Sometimes it comes with or without garlic. This one does have garlic in it, chili garlic sauce. But you can also use sriracha, you can use some cayenne powder. Your favorite hot sauce will work. Or the chili oil that I used in the other sauce is also a really good option. And then just going to mix this around a little bit. I feel like I'm forgetting something. I didn't put the vinegar yet. Thank you. I go through so much rice vinegar at home that I have to buy the giant gallon jugs, and I didn't want to haul that to class, but this is my seasoned rice vinegar.
Is rice vinegar much better than other vinegars?
In my opinion, yes. I use it in everything, like when I make potato salad or any kind of salad dressing or sauce. It has a lot more flavor. I just really like it. Just trying to get my sugar to dissolve a little bit here. All right. And I'm going to stir in about a teaspoon of cornstarch.
Shannon, you say seasoned rice vinegar, so do you
Yes.
season your own?
No, you can buy it either just plain or seasoned.
Okay.
The seasoned one has more flavor, but what they've done is add a little sodium to it and a little sweetness. So that's what makes it so great, I guess. Let's see. Where are those coconut aminos? Here we go. I think they're going in just about everything today. And let's just get the cornstarch to dissolve a little here. So I'm just curious of everyone here today, who eats plant-based all the time? Wow. Wow, this is so exciting to me. Yay. So who's just curious and just sort of in the learning more stage? Okay, great. Well, welcome. If you have questions, let me know. If you don't want to ask in front of the class, email me. I put my email on the recipe handout every month. I am happy to answer questions, help you with substitutions, whatever. Just don't be shy. I do not. Okay, so let's get the 5-spice in our mixture here. I hate peeling these little caps off because they're a nail breaker. Here we go.
Can you substitute something else from the 5-spice? Or not really?
It wouldn't be 5-spice tofu without 5-spice. Do you not like it, or?
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of it.
No? I forgive you.
I guess it's acquired taste.
Yeah, it's an unusual mixture. I definitely get that. We think, in this country, we think of cinnamon as mostly something in desserts or sweets. Yeah. All right, I'm I'm going to let that just sit for a minute. I still need to add a little bit of oil to it, but I'm going to let it sit while we get the frying pan going here. Put some avocado oil in there. It's my favorite of the oils, probably the best option if you're going to be heating it. It does not break down under high heat, so it's a great sauteing or frying option. So I have a small block of tofu that I drained at home and pressed in these paper towels. When you're cooking with tofu, you really want to try and get as much of the moisture out of it as possible ahead of time. Because if you don't, it will take forever and a day to cook. Just a few minutes to drain it, but to leave it pressed, it's great if you can do that, a half hour. If you know you're going to be cooking with tofu in the evening when you wake up in the morning, just do it in the morning and let it sit all day. Yeah, so if I am not pressed for time, I would just set something heavy on it, like my cutting board at home. I'll wrap it in a dish towel and then... Well, no. No. You could. So you've probably had plain, boring tofu and thought it was disgusting and never wanted to try it again? Is that why you don't want to use tofu? Tofu is, yeah. Yes, thank you. I recommend the firm or the extra firm. Either one of the two will work fine. Oh, well, I do, yeah. I mean, all tofu has moisture on it. The firmer it is, the less moisture that is in it, but you still need to, yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah. Yes. There's lots of options out there. They even have seasoned tofus that are in the shrink wrap, so there's no pressing or draining necessary. Yeah. So there's a lot of options out there. You can even find tofu in the canned good aisle. Just it doesn't have to be refrigerated when it's sealed like that. So there's so many options. Just give it a try. What was that? So you can. So that's interesting you asked about using frozen tofu. That's actually a cooking technique that some of us that cook plant-based use to give it a different texture. It sort of mimics the texture of chicken if you freeze it. So it's a good question. Yeah, absolutely. Yes. Exactly. So I'm going to start getting my veggies ready. I'm really excited. Trader Joe's, here we go, Trader Joe's again. I don't work for them, I promise. They sell baby corn in their produce aisle that's just fresh in a little bag. Traditionally, or for years, it's always just come in the can, in the liquid, and it's kind of soggy and gross. But these are really neat. They're just, yeah, in the produce aisle. Nothing at all. It's just my cutting board works just as well. So if you have one, great. So just slicing up the baby corn while our tofu cooks. So I have this, one of my favorite things to put in Asian food. Yes, it's a baby bok choy. I've already cut into it, put part of it in my dinner last night, but I reserved part of it for today. I just slice it like you would slice celery, and it looks like celery when it's sliced, but if you're not familiar with it, give it a try. Loaded with nutrients, and it's very tasty. I don't. I always cook it. Have you ever eaten it raw? Yeah. Great question. Yeah. So I brought my new favorite pan with me today. It's called an always pan. It came with a spatula with a hole in it, and then on the handle there's a little peg for stowing my spatula. Okay, we're almost ready to add some veggies. Okay, my cornstarch has dissolved, and I'm going to add some of the avocado oil. Medium high. Yeah. So for this dish, it goes great with pasta, like some kind of rice noodle or a glass noodle. But I'm going to serve this with rice today. And this is an organic jasmine rice. And put a little scoop in our bowl there. No, it's just regular rice. And I will be honest with you and tell you that I cheated and I bought frozen rice for today. So I don't know if any of you use frozen rice, but I used to make fun of people that used it when it first came out. And now I always have some in my freezer. It's so convenient. And then one of the things that one fun trick is, I know most people prefer the taste of white rice, but we all know brown rice has more fiber and a little better for us. But a great way to transition to the brown rice is to buy both frozen ones, cook 2 packets, one of each, and combine them for your meals. And do that for a while, and you'll start to get used to the brown rice. And you just wouldn't do that if you had to cook 2 different pots of rice from scratch or from dry. It just, yeah. All right. I have one more veggie I haven't cut. I've got a zucchini here. And if you make this at home, try some veggies you don't normally use. Look for something new and exciting. Make it colorful. Get all the nutrients that you need. Eggplant would be great, especially if you can find some of those small Asian eggplants, the Thai or the Japanese. They're great. They're not as watery as our traditional eggplant. went home with the eggplant at my last class? So you, yes, that was you. Did you cook it? Good. So last time for the Mediterranean class, our door prizes were produce. And that lucky lady went home with an eggplant. All right, my tofu is nicely browned, so I'm going to start adding the veggies now. In no particular order, because everything I have here is going to cook in a similar amount of time. Got my baby corn, my baby bok choy. Got the zucchini. If your pan gets dry, just add a smidge more oil. You can also saute your veggies in water if you're trying to reduce the oil you use, which is always a good idea. And in the bowl here, I have some sliced mushrooms, I have some sweet onion, and I have some red bell pepper. Sorry, I'm trying to read the clock. Does that say 10 to 3? Did I? Here I go again, going overboard or past my time slot. Mush. I wouldn't. No, they have too much water. I think it would. You could use them as a garnish. She wondered about using fresh tomato in the veggie mixture. If you love tomatoes and want to get tomatoes in there, maybe just as a garnish. That's funny. The first cup, I always cook with a stack of spoons next to me. And I promise I've never contaminated anything I've cooked for other people. But I hesitated my first few classes because I just thought people might think that I was, eating out of their food that I was preparing for them. But I don't, I promise. That's why I have multiple spoons. I'm sorry. Yes, it is an induction cooktop, so only certain pans will work on it. And it's great, but it's a little noisy. I can't hear when I'm standing right in front of it, so sorry about that. I heard a question, but I don't know what it was. Sorry. Online. Yeah, as far as I know, they're not available in stores anywhere. The company's really growing, so that may change, but I think right now it's just online. They're really, really neat. A lot of great features. It's got a pour spout on both sides. It's a little deeper than a traditional saute pan. Yes, a wok would be great. Okay, veggies are just starting to get tender, so it's time to add the sauce. And I hope when I pour this in that you'll all be able to smell the wonderful aroma from the 5-spice. you smell it? All right, all you have to do is let it come to a boil for a couple of minutes, and then your sauce will thicken from the cornstarch, and it'll be ready just to serve over your rice or your noodles of choice. But pretty easy. Just use whatever vegetables you have on hand. Yeah. Kind of hungry now. So if any of you have to leave right at 3, I'm very sorry. I have one more dish, but I can be really fast. So I hope you can all stay for the last dish. Okay, this is ready. The sauce is thickened so that it's sticking to all of the tofu and the vegetables. Yeah, it is a little noisy. Whoops. The cooked, probably, I think Amazon. I use the Sambal, the chili paste. Yeah, so it does have some spice to it. So that is all set. I did bring some black sesame seeds to garnish it with, but I don't see them here handy. So I'm running late, so I'm just going to move on to the next dish if that's okay with you guys. But, yeah, you bet. And I'll find the black sesame seeds before you do that. Oh, here they are. Sorry. Let's make it look pretty. Did the fragrance of the 5 spice reach everybody? Okay. All right. Okay, the next dish is just a very easy Filipino classic, pancit. And pancit, one of the things I love about it is a one-pan dish. Everything goes in the pan. You don't have to cook your noodles ahead of time. Just easy. And I'm just going to add a little avocado oil. This pan is not a nice non-stick pan like my other ones, so I put a little more oil than I would normally want to use. And then I'm going to put some green cabbage and mirepoix, or carrot, celery, and onions. Yes, Trader Joe's again. I should buy stock or something. I swear I don't work for them. I figure I can cheat with this mirepoix because everybody knows how to chop celery, onions, and carrots. Where's my spatula? It is. What's that? I have another one somewhere. That's all right. Guess I'm going to have to use that one. Slight aftertaste of 5 spice in our pancit today. That's okay. onion and celery. It's known as mirepoix, the French cooking staple. Goes in just about everything. The mirepoix is from Trader Joe's. Yeah. Oh, new. No, it's been there a while. So I'm just going to add some green cabbage. I'm going to wait for the veggies to get a little tender, and then I'm going to add some fresh garlic. If you put your garlic in the beginning, it's going to burn. So I let the veggies cook down just a little bit first. And you can use any kind of rice noodle in your pancit. I picked up these, they say they're for pad thai, but there's no rules. They work great in the pancit as well. My mother-in-law is Filipina, and she uses more this style of noodle, these threads of rice noodles. So really anything goes. So some lucky person is going home with these today, and you can do the same recipe with them if you'd like. Okay, my cabbage is starting to wilt, so I'm going to take my noodles. I spend more time up here looking for my stuff than I do anything else. I'm just going to spread a layer out over my hot mixture. I think we can use them all. Why not? I'll leave this out if anybody wants to look. And then you're going to just take a vegetable broth and pour it over the top. No, I never have. Is it? They have a lot of great products. I'm definitely a fan, as you can probably tell. This is their vegetable broth, so full disclosure, I've never tried this before. I don't usually use things in a class that I haven't tried before, but it saved me from going to another store, so hopefully it's good. So I'm just going to pour it over my mixture. Turn my pan up a little bit because I want it to come to a boil. And the way I gauge how much moisture to put in there is I want to just barely cover my noodles. And then if it does dry up, you can top it up a little bit. You just have to keep an eye on it. And it's so easy. Your whole meal is just done in the one pan. You just have to keep checking your moisture level, make sure there's enough. So the only thing I'm going to add to this is going to be our garlic and some black pepper. No. Who said that? No, this is the world's greatest garlic press. It looks like we've been through the war together, but I've had it for years. It's from Pampered Chef. You do not have to peel your garlic clove. It's the only press I've ever used where you can just get the full amount of your garlic out of the peel without having to peel it first. Love it. I don't know if they're even still in business. They aren't? They are. They are. Oh, good. Well, that had to have been one of their best sellers, so you can probably still find one then. I will, as soon as I get the temperature up and get it. Oops. And then a little bit of black pepper. Okay, so it's going to be a few minutes while the noodles cook, but that's it. It's really easy. I didn't put any in, but I have some right over there. I'll put some in. It's just dried, coarsely ground, the granules instead of dust.
So why use that with real?
Because it adds more depth of flavor to your mixture. When you have real onion, you taste the onion when you get a bite of it, but not every bite is going to have onion in it. But if you use this in addition to that, it's infusing the whole dish.
And that's different than onion powder.
It is. It's just more coarsely ground. But you can also use the powder. Same difference. Okay, my noodles are starting to get bendy. We're getting there. I'll put the lid on. Did I get the lid out? Yes, I did. Actually, I want to know what the Trader Joe's vegetable broth tastes like. Let's see. Ooh, that's kind of bland. Sorry, I shouldn't have said that. Sorry. One of those things I should have kept in my head and not said out loud. Sorry. There was a brand at Smart and Final that was my favorite. It was actually their store brand. It was really, really flavorful. So that's my first choice. It's just from Smart and Final. But they've closed the Smart and Final in Palm Desert. So now it's, I'm sorry, it's a vegetable broth. Yeah. Yeah, wow. And it's very low sodium as well, even though it's not marked that way. So, library staff, I didn't bring a bunch of seasonings because shouldn't have needed to, but definitely some coconut aminos will help. We'll get those in there. Sometimes. Whatever I have, yeah, exactly. What's that? The problem with opening a restaurant is you're married to the restaurant. And at this point in my life, there's so many things I love to do that I just don't want to be tied down that way. I've got a lot of pet projects I'm working on. I'm going to start doing a lot of community pop-up events where I'll do food tents. My debut on that was last Saturday. I don't know if any of you know what the weather was like last Saturday. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it was. It was on the third floor of the parking structure at the mall, and that electrical storm hit and the high wind. So we made it about an hour into the 8-hour event. So I figure all the bad luck is out of the way. The next one's going to be a piece of cake. Yeah. Away from the lightning anyway, right? Yeah. They are trying to find a date to reschedule it. So we'll see what happens with that. But there are a lot of community events where food vendors can do pop-ups, like the farmers markets and those kind of things. And then also my prize pet project in the back of my head is I want to do some destination cooking, traveling. The first one will be in Japan. So I asked if the library would be happy to send members to Japan with me, but that didn't go over very well, so. Outside of Nagano, do you know Japan? So Nagano is in the mountains. It's where they held the Winter Olympics many years ago. It's where the Japanese snow monkeys live. There's natural hot springs all around. It's where a lot of the world's mushrooms are grown. And I'm looking at a mushroom farm that lets touring and being part of the farm and being part of the cooking adventure. So, what's that? It is a shiitake farm, yeah. Yeah. When I visited there, I fell in love with it, and I love to keep going back, and they have such beautiful people, beautiful food. It's a beautiful country. I just would love to show other people that. I love to cook with the ingredients that I can find there. It's a great place to go and eat. It's worth the trip. But I like Europe too. There's a lot of places we can go. You'll all come, right? Perfect. I'll get it all figured out and let you know. Was all excited to roll with that, and then COVID hit, so we'll get there. Okay, this is just about done. Any questions on any of the dishes, any other dishes that we didn't do? No? Next month's class, I hope all of you can join me again. We're going to be doing Americana. We'll be working on some comfort food that you can convert to plant-based cooking. Yes. Yes, absolutely. Everything I do is. No animal products. Yeah, so. Yeah. It's actually great as it is. If you wanted to boost the protein, you could put some mushroom in there, but all plants have protein in them. And the funny thing, or the ironic thing, I think, is that all things that we think of as protein, they actually get their protein from eating plants. So you just cut out the middleman if you just go straight to the plants. Oh, there's so many great mushrooms. You could do lion's mane. Those are really fun to work with, and they're delicious. The king oyster mushrooms. There's any mushroom. Any mushroom, yeah. But use some of the different varieties. The mayatakis are really, really nice. Yes, thank you.
All right. Before we go, raffle. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
I think pretty much most people got a ticket when they came in, so we have a couple things to give away. 523 are the last three numbers. All right, come on up. Can we let them choose?
Sure.
You can choose one of. All right, 533. So we have 533. Come on up.
What are the choices?
498. All right. We got one more. 532.
Sorry, I don't have a to-go box.
All right.
Is this the stuff that you were using instead of soy?
Yes. I've never tried that brand. If you come next month, let me know how it is. You don't use it? Oh, I don't. It's not recommended anymore for high heat cooking. It breaks down.
Is it too heavy?
No, it's just chemically it changes when you heat it. So it's not recommended anymore. Most of the people are switching to avocado oil for cooking. Okay. You're welcome. Thank you. Thanks for coming. You're welcome. Sorry about going off schedule.
No,